My name, Michael Maclear. As correspondent for the CBC, I've lived now for a year in Tokyo. I've tried to document that year, Japan's mood, its course and character, which once again is changing. It was a big year, marking a decade of post-war independence and a century of Western contact. A year in which Japan became the third greatest industrial nation in the world and the fastest growing of any. Today, in fact, Japan is widely viewed as westernized. Not so, say the Japanese. And that's our story. That's the change in Japan. Call Japan modernized, but not westernized. Technology and ideology are two worlds, not separate worlds, but still different, like East and West. It's always like this, Sundays and summer days in Kyoto, as it was before transistors. The Japanese joke worriedly about their transistor society. Says an official report, Western influences increase a number of neurotics. The official remedy, get out more, don't be left alone. The emphasis is on repairing the family system. Here anyway, an obvious need for repairs. Some Sunday. And so, warmed by sake, charmed by the rice cake sellers, fated by the shamisen minstrels, infused by security and sanctity in the shadow of Kyoto's 1800 temples, the great re-evaluation of character begins. And the pilgrims put it on record. So many shrines, enough for each to say, I was there. Kyoto is like a shutterbug contest. Worshipping the old. Well, that's nothing new either. This is serious, at least for the literal-minded Westerner. It's all about nothing. That's Zen, and this the famous Ryoanji rock garden depicting man's impermanence. Zen, says the guide, teaches the futility not of life, but the questioning of it, teaches acceptance. Unintentional humor, resolving the problems of personality, is the agony of every Japanese. The one answer is conformity. One solution is Shintoism. Shintoism rings deep in the recesses of the Japanese mind, full of animism, mystic chants, and strange rites. No longer a state religion, but reviving. Each of these signs records a new donation to the temple from $500 to $1,500. And these, like the photographs, a record of belonging. Visiting Japan, Robert F. Kennedy said, religious beliefs have greatly weakened. He couldn't be more wrong. That's our point. If the West doesn't understand modern Japan, can it ever understand the East? There's always beauty where there's trust. Most of Japan's leaders believe Shintoism can be a force for good. Shintoism has 10 precepts, like the commandments, including do not forget your obligations, do not be carried away by foreign teachings, do not disobey the state. The secret smile. That's Kyoto. Tens of millions come each year. They leave the city untouched, unspoiled, yet taking back a pride of land, a respect for law. The laws are hard. Only 25% of the land fit for habitation, only 15% for cultivation. And so nature shaped character. Originally warlike, endless struggles to own the land. The end result, the last war, then American land reform. But the real revolution was long before. Here, as a feudal lord leaves his land for the capital, he kept his land by paying homage. And if today the people keep the land, it is because they sacrifice still. Standards are pegged so that all may share. This way, 100 million survive. They did remember for 250 years. No war, no want. Traveling here, one town or street is indistinguishable from the next. An endless main street of modern wares and well-being. And I can but record that as I walked here, people stared. In the small towns, the Westerner is infinitely more a curiosity than the latest appliance. The escalator girl bows low. Welcome, she says. Our store is not worthy. But indeed it is. Nothing better explains Japan than an average department store. The inherent politeness, the meticulous care, the hard-won plenty. Western dress, but the fabric is Japanese. The pattern is simple. They've cut out competition as we know it. A man works for less than he need. A company sells for less. It guarantees overall employment and production. And the sales jingles. 1 in 2 urban homes have a washing machine. 1 in 6 have a fridge, more than in Britain. Every home reportedly has a radio, and 80% see TV. The Japanese now spend a whopping 50% of incomes on consumer goods. An inventive genius that can take strange forms. Pachinko is a pinball game, as you see, only all the machines are identical. In Japan, as many pachinko places as there are temples, as many devotees. It is materialism fighting mentality. It is blind conformity. It is abandonment. It is even the glint of the sword. It is 2 worlds, all twisted up. That was the West, that's all. The twist, the offbeat and the teddy boys, blue days, bad nights, and baseball, that's all. The rest they cannot grasp. Their only world is the one marked Made in Japan, where life is secure because no one need be anyone except somebody's sister. Woman power. Almost half the industrial labor force are girls, average age 20, average pay $10 a week. Add to that a dozen fringe benefits, overtime, annual bonuses, years of service, and so on. Japan's secret is its graded wage system, a constant turnover of women at minimum rates, and life service for the men. And 1 day a week off, Sundays.
Any day you say, but 5 days of rest. Just name the day.
Hard work, but well cared for. At day's end, in company dormitories, happy they are. A communal life, 4 to a room, rents at 40 cents a week, meals at 5 cents. Their purchasing power equals the average Canadians. Add to that company medical care and paid vacations, and marriage guidance. Not the Western way, that's just a Johnny on the wall. True, the royal couple were a love match. But when these girls wed, the company manager will probably act as go-between.
And how it's gonna be
For little angels, duty done, they'll return to their rural homes, drawn finely and firmly back into the social system of this Eastern way. Such is a Tokaido, such the pattern of Japanese industry, growing at a phenomenal 9% annually. Hurtling, a material equality only. There was a temple by the factory compound, and a fitting story, the legend of the 500 faces.